Alright, thank you, Daniel, for making that quick upload on that video. I really appreciate it. You made some very good arguments, but I did find some troubles with your delivery. I think you were very monotone and it was very difficult to pick up your key points, but I'll look past that and argue against your points that you made and the ones that you failed to respond to from my video. So starting out, you admitted that most people are greedy in America, and this is a giant hint that we do need to teach students our morals. This is something that doesn't happen because there's no part of the curriculum that teaches them how to view other people. And this is a terrible thing, really, because everyone's just thinking for themselves. If we taught students morality from a young age, it would turn them into more productive, better adults. And rather than having generations of greedy workers, greedy businessmen, we could have a society of people who work together, don't screw each other over, who work together to better society, the education system, among all the other issues we have. And it really is the school's place to do this, because where else are so many children gathered? I mean, they have all this free time to play with dinosaurs. You may as well do something productive and do something that's going to benefit mankind rather than just the SAT scores. We really need to look at morality more seriously. You also made a very important argument that you claimed that when people are greedy, you end up having very few people who are very, very rich. And you said this was beneficial because it would allow them to pay more taxes. But this is terrible, because if we allow few people to be greedy and to become rich off the misery of other people, it's going to ruin the middle class if all the wealth's going to go to one person. And as we've learned from past civilizations, when you have a king or just a noble class, when you have an upper class, no middle class, and then peasants, it doesn't work out. And that's what's going to happen. You argued that these rich people will be able to pay more taxes and it's going to better the government because they'll be able to provide more for more people, but that's not true, because that means that the middle class isn't going to have any money. It's all going to go to the rich people. So this is either going to create communism or it's going to create just a system that won't work. It's not going to happen, at least not in a humane way. And if these laws do get implemented the way you'd like to, just give it 100 years or so. There's going to be a rebellion because there's no middle class. The lower class would be the majority. They'd get pissed off, and of course we know how that would end. Also, you contradict yourself when you say that the government is incapable of teaching society morality. You say that in your first argument, and then in your second argument, you say that the government's doing a perfect job of teaching us morality. And, I mean, although on their own they were very good arguments that were very well supported, you made two arguments that are totally against each other. So that's a huge contradiction that really did pull back your argument a lot. I would reiterate that if you could. Also, you ignored my proposition of saying that a better education for students will be an investment that will dig America out of debt. Of course, this is one of my most important points on this whole argument that you really should respond to, where if we put our money into our students now, it'll equip our future generations with the tools needed to dig ourselves out of all the wars and debt and crisis that we have right now. We could better the world if we invest in it today. Even if we rack up our debt a little bit, we're going to have a generation that's so well equipped that they'll be able to fight right through it. Also, you said that studies that they never showed that having fewer students in a classroom would be a good thing. That's actually false. I found several sources that did confirm that having fewer students in a classroom was better for the students. It would maximize their education by a lot. These are sources such as the New York Times, the Republic of Education, and several more that need to be acknowledged because they are credible, of course. Also, I never said that we should hold students back if they fail one subject. You used math because I used that as an example. we should allow them to progress. And this was a fallacy that you made, because I never said that we should hold our students back. I only said that we should make sure that they are well-rounded and successful in all subjects. So this fallacy really does run into 2 to 3 minutes of your video, which is a large chunk of it, unfortunately. Also, your argument doesn't make sense when you say that there's a high dropout rate for high school students, but only in unfortunate areas where there's a lower income. This isn't very fair, because you were saying that students from upper middle class areas are more important than students from impoverished areas. This isn't fair at all. We need to make sure that every student has an equal opportunity to succeed, and you're making on arguments that aren't ethical. They're not constitutional. They're very, very unethical, in my opinion. Also, you admitted that poor students are, in fact, less likely to succeed. You admitted it. So I think we should reform because of this. This is definitely an indicator that we should reform, and we should make changes to level out the playing ground for everyone. And that's about all I got for you. Thanks, Daniel. I look forward to seeing your video. Thank you.